Yes, that is awesome.
This is some random apocryphal, like epic poem passed down by the Irish, fulfilling Book of Mormon prophecy.
This is gonna be the best day ever. This is gonna be the best day ever. Wake up.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Word Radio. I'm your host, Cardinellis. Today I'm joined via Zoom by the Associate Professor of all things apocryphal, Jonah Barnes, who's festively celebrating St. Patrick's Day today. In fact, he's going to teach us some apocryphal history, some unknown apocryphal history of one St. Patrick and some of his buddies that apparently show up in the Book of Mormon. Jonah, do I understand this correctly? So basically, we know St. Nick was basically Mormon. You know what I'm saying?
Basically.
And so apparently St. Patrick was too, and you've got the apocryphal receipts to prove it. Jonah Barnes, go.
Aye, laddie, and a happy St. Patty's Day to y'all. Yeah, today we're going to be talking about a little bit about St. Patrick's Day and Ireland. So first of all, St. Patrick is we think St. Patrick, a couple misnomers we need to clear up here. Number one, St. Patrick was not Irish.
Oh, really?
Not Irish at all. Nope.
Scottish.
0% Irish. As a matter of fact, he was an Englishman.
Welsh. Oh, he's English. Okay, cool.
Who was taken as a slave by Irishmen.
Ooh, rough.
And he grew up in Ireland as a slave there. He learned their language and their customs and everything, and then had this miraculous escape. The Lord, the voice came to him and led him to a ship, and he just like slipped out of slavery and went to England.
Okay.
And then he became converted, and he said, I'm going to go back and teach those people the gospel. And so then he comes back to Ireland, which was like just a savage place back then. I mean, it was totally barbaric. He goes back, speaks the language, knows the customs, knows who to talk to, how to talk to them, what to do, who the king is, who the tribe leader is, and all this stuff, and ends up being this unbelievable missionary. We're talking Dan Jones, Cardin Ellis level missionary success in Ireland.
So he baptized like two people. Good job.
So the oral records passed down say that he founded more than 300 congregations.
Whoa.
And facilitated the baptism of 120,000 people.
Wow. So here's what you put on the screen. It says Patrick also brought clergymen from England and France for his new churches. Patrick's writings serve as the most important source of information about Patrick's life and work. During his later years, he wrote Confession, an account of his spiritual development in which he justified his mission to Ireland. Wow. Super interesting. So what, have you come up with an apocryphal copy of Confession 2? Is there like the lost gospel of St. Patrick? Like, what's going on here, my man?
No. So I think it goes without saying that St. Patrick is the work has been done for St. Patrick. Let's just say, let's just say the work's been done for our brother Patrick. It's actually Brother Sukat is his actual name.
Oh, interesting.
But Brother Sukat, he's definitely, but there is another person, and this guy lived hundreds of years before St. Patrick, who was a king in Ireland. Okay. This is, I think this is wicked cool. Okay. I hope you think it's wicked cool. I think this is wicked cool.
Okay.
So this guy, his name is King Connor or King Conchobar.
Oh, is it this guy right here in the red with the green cape? And then that's him.
Studly looking dude. Okay. He was a king of, not of all of Ireland, but of a province of Ireland. Back, it was split into a couple tribes. He was one of the kings. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the story of King Connor, it's not he didn't do very many amazing deeds, but there was one thing that he did. He died.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, that's why he's famous, because the manner of his death. So it's funny. That's his claim to fame, is because he dies. And, when he dies, the way that he died, they tell the story of his death. This is passed down by oral tradition by the Irish. Remember, the Irish weren't like industrialized with the rest of the world. They were a little bit behind. Okay, a little bit behind. So their oral tradition passes on how this guy died. Here's how King Connor died.
Okay, got it right here.
Okay, right here. This is from a poem, an epic poem okay, that was recited and passed down for centuries. All things were happy and busy, save Connor MacNessa, the king. So years passed over, when sitting mid-silence like that of the tomb, a terror crept through him as sudden as noonlight was blackened with gloom. One red flare of lightning blazed brightly, illuming the landscape around. One thunder peal roared through the mountains and rumbled and crashed underground. He heard the rocks bursting asunder, the trees tearing up by the roots, and loud through the horrid confusion the howling of terrified brutes. From the halls of his tottering palace came screaming of terror and pain, and he saw crowding thickly around him the ghosts of the foes he had slain.
Yes, that is awesome.
So something bad's going on. This is bad.
That is so cool. Okay, yeah.
Now, in another account of this oral tradition, which is in handwriting here, I won't read the whole thing, but it's a little bit in handwriting here. So Connor is freaked out by this, and the king says, "What's going on?" And he says when the supernatural commotion had ended, this is written down in early 20th century by a student, an Irish woman, an old woman, told the story. And
is this the cursive on like the yellow paper that I see in the Discord?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'm pulling it up.
It says, the king inquired from his chief druid. The Irish had druids. Druids were like their priests. They were like their prophets, okay?
Yeah, totally.
He says, what had caused this terrible commotion? And the druid told him that it was the protest of nature against a terrible crime which had just been perpetrated in the Eastern world against the creator of the universe. And he described to the astonished king the tragedy of Calvary, which he'd been made aware of by some supernatural method. Now, this all becomes interesting if you remember 1 Nephi 19:12. Some people listening are going to go, oh.
All right. First Nephi 19:12. What happens? You're putting me on the spot. What happens, bro?
This is our St. Patrick's Day verse, people. This is it. This is our Irish verse in the Book of Mormon. It says,
okay, what does it say?
All things must surely come, saith the prophet Zenos. The rocks of the earth must rend, and because of the groanings of the earth, many of the kings of the isles of the sea shall be wrought upon by the Spirit to exclaim, the God of nature suffers. This is a fulfillment of Book of Mormon prophecy. The king of Ireland, Isle of the Sea, was talking about the protest of nature and said the God of nature suffers.
Boom, shakalaka, what up?
I think we proved it. Ireland.
Oh, dude.
The patron saint of Ireland is St. Patrick, but it should probably be the prophet Zenos.
Yeah.
I think that's what it should be. Isn't that cool? Is that awesome or
that
what?
That is beyond cool, my man. That is
awesome
totally wicked. Yeah, it's way awesome.
This is some random apocryphal, like epic poem passed down by the Irish, fulfilling Book of Mormon prophecy. It's just super cool.
Okay, so when your friends go up to you and they want to pinch you because you haven't worn green, unlike me, actually, I got my green pen. Here we go. Hold on. So I got to put that in my pocket. So I guess
you're gonna need that today, man.
You know what I'm saying? But so when people want to talk to you and say Happy St. Patrick's Day, are you just going to tell them, Happy St. Patrick's Day right back at you? But have you heard of his friend, King Connor, that shows up in the Book of Mormon?
Yeah. You say, God save King Connor.
Wow. That is incredible. All right. Well, dude, Jonah, any other details we missed before we go here, man? Any other details we miss?
Last thing that we missed, I'm sad that Kwaku isn't here for this. The last thing we missed is that Elder Patrick had a mission companion, Elder Columba, who's the other patron saint of Ireland, who was the first guy to ever record a sighting of the Loch Ness Monster.
Oh, shut up. Really?
There you go.
Wow.
The first guy to ever see it. This is like 1,500 years. This is so long ago. This is like 600 AD or something. It's the first time somebody said, "Hey, there's this weird like monster creature and
I'm just heartbroken. I'm just heartbroken about the fact that redheads are going to be gone within like 8,000 years. I was reading some article that said that because it's a recessive gene that requires both people to have the recessive gene, as we have globalized, right? And now we no longer have as isolated populations as we supposedly had before, that they said the red-headed genotype or whatever the scientific phrase is will be gone within like 5,000 years on the short end to 8,000 to 10,000 years on the long end. There'll be no more redheads, which kind of makes you think, what hair colors have we already missed out on? You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like, humanity is pretty old. They keep finding these skeletons that push back the age of Homo sapiens 10,000 years, 20,000 years, 100,000 years. And it kind of makes you think, like, were there green-haired humans? And just because it was a double recessive gene, like the original St. Patrick's Day celebrating green hairs, are they just like totally gone,
Someday archaeologists are going to look back and they're going to be like, for like 50 years, everybody had blue hair. What the heck was going on then? Like,
exactly.
Well, there was some recessive gene. It must have been a recessive gene that died out.
Yeah, exactly. And if you believe that it was a social contagion, then you're a bigot. So anyway, thank you, Jonah Barnes, Associate Professor of All Things Apocryphal, for hanging out with us and telling us what's going on with St. Patrick, King Connor. I keep wanting to say King O'Connor, but no, it's King Connor, which is a much better, much cooler alliteration. Let us know what you guys think in the comments section below. Should we normalize the celebration of King Connor and his obvious attachment to the Book of Mormon, or should we just keep St. Patrick on his pedestal where he belongs? We love St. Patrick. He's a super cool guy. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. And as always, for this and more, please check us out at wardradio.com.
This is gonna be the best day ever. This is gonna be the best day ever. Wake up, top of the morning. The bacon is crispy, the coffee is pouring. My meditation is peeling an orange. The bank says I'm already scoring.